Sid Strauss here with another episode of Road to Power. Welcome back. This week we will try and get the R32 onto the road and driving on under its own power. This week we will check our fuel system, see whether our fuel system really ciphers fuel from the other side of the tank. This is the saddle tank in the R32 and the Golf 4 motion. So we did a few modifications. We have to be sure that our fuel system is siphoning fuel from the other side of the tank, returning it back, sending it to the surge tank, sending it to the front. So we'll be checking that in this week's video. Another thing that we will be doing is mounting our oil catch can, and then I will be addressing the questions asked from our Instagram page. So those of you who asked me a question in this week's video, we will be covering those questions. Thank you for those who asked the questions, and those of you who don't know, please go check us out on Instagram as well as on TikTok now. Give us a like, give us a shout out, give us a comment, and yeah, let's get cracking. So over here guys, we have our surge tank, fuel surge tank. I made a custom bulkhead for my fuel assembly. So the fuel comes up from the in-tank AEM 320, runs all the way up to the surge tank. From the surge tank we have grams 440 running to the front. We have a return going back to the right hand side of the tank. So in here we have a 320 AEM in-tank pump which pumps fuel up here, but also we have a T which siphons fuel from this side. So what I want to check is, we're going to open this up, we're going to place this inside a holder with a fixed amount of fuel. We're going to close it back up. We're going to start the pumps or start the car, and then we're going to measure after 10 minutes and see whether the fuel really gets picked up from the in-tank pump from this side. So that's why I have a 2-liter bottle. I will use the bottle to mark the fuel level, but you will see all this in the video. So over here we opened up the left side of the tank, the passive side of the tank. So here you can see the fuel siphon unit. The one side comes in and then returns the fuel to the other side of the tank over there. So the experiment that we will be doing is, we will use this bottle over here. We're gonna cut a hole, we're gonna fill it with fuel, and we're gonna put on the tank on the other side and see whether the fuel drops. Hi guys, so this is the active side of my pump. I made this bulkhead. So this is the pressure side of the AEM in tank. It will give pressure to this, feeding my surge tank and then also feeding the passive side of the tank. But this is not working. I tested it. How we know it's not working? Look at this level of the tank. You can see it over there. You can see over there is more fuel. So what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna switch the active and passive side feed, and we're gonna see whether that's the problem that we are having, because we need to use both sides of the tank. And if that's not gonna fix our solution, we'll have to revert back to a OEM tank setup from a R32, and we'll have to import that from Europe. So let's see if this works. So our tank pickup from the passive side did not work. Over here I have two OEM pumps. This was inside my car. This is the wrong pump for the Golf 4 R32. It sits inside your pump assembly like this one. The main difference is this comes from a Golf 4 R32. Over here you can see a broken tab. This is the siphon piece that that the pump uses to siphon fuel from the passive side of the tank. When I bought my car is second hand, it had this assembly in it. I did not know about the passive and active side of the tank. I did not know a Golf 4 R32 has a saddle tank. So I drove the car. The previous owners put a GTI tank, fuel pump and tank assembly in the car. So when I was acquiring parts, I didn't drive the car far, but when I was acquiring parts, I bought an AEM 320 pump, which looks exactly like this, sits in here, but it only has one exit. But now what's happening is we are only using half of our tank. So for me to rectify this, I'll have to order a new pump assembly. This will take some time because I have to save for it. And in this case, we have a grams 440 with a surge tank, so it's no longer necessary for me to have an AEM high flow in tank pump. So I'm going back to OEM style with the OEM style in tank assembly. So it will use this part of the pump to get fuel from the passive side. Yeah. So I'm gonna take some time and answer the questions that were asked on Instagram.
What motivates you?
What motivates me building, I'm assuming building the Golf 4 R32. So I've had a passion for cars since a very young age, and as I grew up, I really wanted to modify my own car and turbocharge my own car. So that's the dream I had, and I set out trying to achieve the dream, but it's very difficult keeping myself motivated, especially since you have to be teaching yourself new skills, facing difficulties such as finances, time, and availability of parts, and you get demotivated. What keeps me motivated is the drive to really finish what I started, as well as I have a good support structure from my wife and my family and a few really good car friends in Namibia and South Africa. These people play an important role in when things seem all doom and gloom. Then they speak some life into you, really changing your mindset and making you analyze why you want to give up. So taking that into account, what motivates me is the support of my family and my wife and my friends in the car community. You guys, thank you.
Next question. Are you going to be putting pops and bangs?
Pops and bangs. Opa. The guy who asked this question is a very close friend of mine. That's his favorite tune. No, I will not be putting pops and bangs, as the Golf 4 R32 just does that all by itself. No need to tune it, no need to do funny things, but yeah, no, I will not be putting pops and bangs. I'll just be putting power pops. So that's the end of our question session. Please guys, check us out on Instagram, now on TikTok as well. We are trending, and we have some exciting stuff for next week's video. As you see the cars outside, we had a few test drives yesterday and today. Everything went fine. We had a few oil leaks. We have a coolant leak, but we'll sort that out, and please stay tuned for more fun videos.